Welcome. This is your introduction to the Law of International Business Transactions, Legal Studies 4533. I'm Professor Marty Ludlum. I thought I'd walk you through the syllabus and the important aspects of it. I give you my contact information. My office is in Thatcher Hall, the one right next to the Student Union in 116. Feel free to come by anytime. I've also got my office phone number. The easiest way to contact me is always through email through D2L. One of the things I'm a big advocate of is our study tours, and this shows our recent one where we took a group of students to Dublin, Ireland. There I am. This is the Temple Bar District, kind of a area kind of like the San Antonio Riverwalk. A great experience. Students really enjoy it, and if you have any questions about any of the study tours, be sure and ask. What is our class about? Well, this class is about the legal environment of international business. Well, what does that mean? Well, not long ago, really in your grandparents' generation, imports were rare. Anybody that had anything imported, it was expensive and very rare. Now, it's an everyday occurrence. In fact, I doubt you could go to the grocery store and not end up buying some imported items. It's commonplace. The world is much smaller. We transact business globally. Even the smallest business does business with businesses abroad. For this course, junior standing, 3113 is highly recommended because we build on some of the ideas of contracts. It's not essential, but it is. You will be at a disadvantage if you haven't taken 3113 before. The textbook is International Business Law and Its Environment in one of its various editions. Right now, both the 8th and 9th are in circulation in the bookstores. The 8th and 9th edition both have exactly the same chapters in exactly the same order, so either book will be just fine. Obviously, for an online class, the textbook is absolutely essential because you don't have class notes, you don't have class meetings. You've got to have the book and read it to keep current with the material. Obviously, again, contacting me, always go through D2L. Why? Because if I just get a generic email, and believe me, I get some of these every day that just say, "What happened in class today?" from joe@aol.com, I have no earthly idea what class they're in. But instead, if you go through D2L, it automatically ties your email to your specific class. So I automatically can instantly know from your email which class you're in, what assignment you're talking about. So always go through D2L. My office hours, I had mentioned before, 116 in Thatcher Hall. If you're coming very far from campus, email me. I'm pretty much always there except in my office, except when I'm in class. I only live a mile from campus, so it's easy for me to get here. And as a result, I spend most of my time in my office. It's my makeshift living room, so feel free to stop by. Obviously, if you're coming from a distance, email me because I have various other obligations and meetings to go to, and I'll make sure and be available for you. How do your grades break down? Well, we have 5 big topics of grades. First, you have chapter quizzes, you have chapter discussion boards, chapter homeworks, you have exams, the first one, second one, and then the final exam is cumulative. And so those break down your total grades out of 1075. The quizzes, again, we cover 19 chapters, so some chapters do not have a quiz. But again, to make the grades balance out, we have 15 quizzes. They're all either multiple choice or very short answers. There's no makeup. Each one of them has a deadline, and that deadline, it stops, and there's no makeup for it. Now, most of the quizzes are open for about 2 weeks apiece, so there's plenty of time to get those done. And I urge you over and over again, don't wait until the last minute to get your assignments done. In addition to the quizzes, you also have chapter discussion boards. And again, for almost every chapter. Again, think of these as a substitute for the in-class discussion. Again, the idea is for you to have an exchange with the other students about a topic related to the class. Now, you can't just click and say, I agree, or yes, I support that, I believe you. You've got to have some kind of answer of substance. And so a minimum of 35 words to indicate that you really are reading the material, interacting with the students. And again, there's no makeup for those. Once the deadline passes, those are lost opportunities. Lastly, you also have chapter homework. Again, for almost every chapter. Again, you have 15 of these homeworks. Questions are based on what's the reading materials in the textbook. Again, there's no makeup. The way that you do the homework is, again, type them out in MS Word, save a copy of the file, and then just attach the file when you email me. Again, we do this so that this way you have automatic backup of all the materials you're sending for your homework. I'll stress again, and probably about every other week, watch your deadlines. Again, some chapters you'll have all 3 assignments. Some chapters 2, some just 1. But some weeks you'll have multiple chapters going on. And so you may have a multitude of assignments some weeks. Again, I try to portion them out so it's fairly balanced, but you will be busy. You'll have something due every single week. So you can't take off for a week and skip it and try to catch up, because the deadlines go by, and once they're gone, there's no chance to make up those. The exams, there's 3 big exams. Again, a first unit, the second unit, and the final that's comprehensive. Now, each one of the exams is in 2 parts. There's one part that's multiple choice questions, multiple choice and true false. And then one part is short answer, where you have to type in the text. Each one of those parts are timed. So for exam 1, you'll have a multiple choice part and a short answer part. You don't have to take them back to back on the same day. In fact, I actually advise you not to take them back to back, because you might want a chance as you go through. Let's say you do the multiple choice first. You may spot a couple things that, wow, I didn't know what that was for. Review it, so then when you take the short answer part, you're better prepared. But again, each exam, exam 1, exam 2, and the final, all of them are 2 parts. 1 part multiple choice, 1 part short answer. Now also, each one of the parts are timed. So once you start it, you only get 1 opportunity. So the minute you log in and say start the test, that is your 1 option. You don't have a way to put it on pause while you go to the bathroom, while you answer the phone, any of those kind of things. So make sure and arrange for all your other inconveniences to be out of the way, at least for an hour while you take these exams. There's no makeup exam. If you do miss the time period during which the exam's offered for a legitimate or perhaps illegitimate reason, the only way to make it work with our schedule is, instead of giving you a makeup test, is instead we count the final exam twice. So whatever score you get on the final exam, I also fill that same score in for the missing test. So there's no penalty, but again, that just puts a bigger burden on you on your score for the final exam. The final exam is comprehensive. It covers the entire semester. And that means we cover things in the first test and the second test and the very last material all together in 1 exam. So it is longer. Both the multiple choice part is longer and the short answer part is longer. But again, you have more time to take each one of those parts. If there is a crisis that interrupts the final exam, weather, disasters, these kinds of things, then we have a school policy on what we do for the missing final exam. Basically, we just determine what your grades are without the final, and we do the best adjustment we can. If you have technical problems, you got to contact the UCO help desk. I can't fix your computer, and certainly I can't from my office either. I can show you how to run the basics of D2L if you want to come in, and we can walk through those if this is your first course. But if you are having computer difficulties, I really don't know how to fix those things. So again, feel free to contact the UCO help desk. I shouldn't have to say it, but I guess it's essential. Obviously, this course is meant to be an individual effort that really tests your knowledge over the subject matter. It's supposed to be closed book and closed notes. Any use of outside materials or assistance from other people is against our policy of academic integrity. If there is something unusual that happens, exceptionally high grades or unusual grades, I do have the option to require that you take the exams in a proctored environment, whether that's on UCO's campus or if you're outside of the Edmond area, we can find a different proctor for you, and you'll take it there instead of the online exam. Let me sound heartless, I guess. Don't wait till the last minute. I really don't like people that wait until the last minute of the last day to do their projects. And then during that 30-minute period, they have a crisis occur and so can't get anything done. If you have a crisis that lasts for 4 days, then I understand you don't get the test done. But if you blow it off and you delay and wait and wait and wait until the very last minute, and then your dog gets sick, I'm sorry. This class, as well as all our legal environment classes, are all about responsibility. And certainly, you've got to be responsible on your part. Excuses aren't a substitute for getting your assignments done. It's that simple. I hold myself to the same accountability standard. I will get all your grades done by Monday. All the deadlines are either on Friday or Saturday. And so I will get them done, I know, by Monday afternoon. I'll get all the grades done and posted so you can access them through D2L within that time period. I also promise within 48 hours to get all the exams done. And each one of them I have to read individually, so it's quite time consuming. But I hold myself accountable with that same idea about keeping up with my deadlines. In fact, let me just say that as far as I know, this is your best life lesson I can offer you. Life's a whole lot easier if you're ahead of schedule. If you're always running behind, if you're always at the last minute, every single thing you do in life is going to be much more difficult. Trust me, plan ahead, and you'll make your life much easier and happier. So that's our course, 4533. Again, feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.